Welcome everybody to another episode of Gorilla Gospel. We're gonna get into a twilight part of the Bible where we try to identify who we're dealing with and also enlighten you of what we're dealing with. So let's jump in it, okay? We're going into the chapter Acts, and we're going into chapter Acts 18, and it says, "And immediately there fell from his eyes as it had been scales, and he received sight forthwith and arose and was baptized." All right. And I want you to take into consideration that God came from somewhere else and made the world. And God sent his son and took his son off this world. And other people in the Bible, so forth, was taken from this world also into another place. Okay? So when we look at that word, the scales, that it had been as it had been scales, which means they were sort of like fish scales. Okay? And back in those days, not too many things were recognized and understandable because nobody never seen stuff like we will see today. Okay? So what can fall from a person's eyes that's kind of like fish scales? What? What can fall from somebody's eyes that kind of looks like fish scales? What do we put in our eyes to see with? What do we put in our eyes to change colors? What can go in a person's eyes that look kind of like fish scales? Can you tell me? Okay then. Now let's talk about this a little bit because see, God said that I am, I was, I am, and what's to come, which means that he did. He's already been there and came back. Okay, when Jesus was born and the wise men was following the star, a star does not move. A star does not move. There's no such thing as a shooting star. But this deal kept moving and kept disappearing. And then before you knew it, it hovered. You know, in some of the text, it'll say it came to a standstill. It came, and then some of them will say it hovered. Okay, and shined a light down on where Jesus was, and Jesus was in some apartments where they described Jesus as a young boy standing on side of Mary, not in a manger where the wise men met him. They didn't meet Jesus in a manger. If that was the case, then you dig. Why did the king kill like all the kids that was 2 years old and under? So back to the situation, the fish scales. What is contact lenses? Besides something that can right now make you go blind. They got contact lenses right now that can make you not see. Nobody believe in spaceships. Nobody believe in extraterrestrials. Not like the Hollywood stunts, but you know, that's a cover up. Because when it comes to the truth, and the truth is revealed in your face, you would think it's just some kind of cover-up scam that somebody has done from Hollywood or something like that, some tricks, some lights, some smoke, some mirrors or something like that. And most of the time, you won't receive. A lot of us receive gifts from dreams, visions, and sights. Sometimes we are visited by angels that can just drop one word in our brain and spark a serious situation that can change the world. And that's been going on all through the Bible also. You dig? So, I mean, we're dealing with these future beings that has been out there way before us. I mean, come on. Something made us. Ha ha ha. Wake up. You see? And that's where it is. That's just the way it is. We got no understanding when it comes to the Bible. We have different texts that's out there, and they all have similar truth as the other. But they're broken down to reach different people, just like the 12 tribe did. The 12 tribe went through and they taught in their way, but of God and the way of righteousness. And everybody is right when it comes to following God. There are the Davids of God. There are the Abrahams of God. There are the Jacobs, the Isaacs. There are the Ruth, the Jesus, the the Paul, Peter, Bartholomew, everybody. What's the deal on the rest of the tribe? What's the story on them boys? What was their role as disciples? Uh, 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 you know, what? What was they doing? It's not much really being said about what the other ones was doing. But you see, when it comes to people who knows the gifts, the powers of God, the wonders and all that, see, too much knowledge is not good for some people because they can't handle the truth. Not only that, they misuse it. And that's where you got a bunch of people who mislead people. Like this one brother who made people drink red Kool-Aid and kill themselves. And you got a lot of other people who make you follow them and they pervert the Bible in situations. And in the Bible, how it says that, you know a man by his fruit. And I pray you don't follow them. But this is what we're living in. We're living in times where we can't get a grip of what's the actual meaning of our purpose on earth. If you read in the Bible, it'll tell you that we was put here to be land tillers, to till the earth. Not fly out to space and try to meet God. Not clone people like God did. Not, a lot of things, bro. Okay? And try to pretend that you're God. If you're a God follower, that's all you are. Teach the gospel. And try to do it the best way you can without sinning. Because we are going to always sin. No matter who you are. But I mean, just take in consideration what I'm talking about when it comes to it was like fish scales. It was like scales. All right? From his eyes, it had been like scales, like fish scales. Take in consideration, dude, and try to take heed that the clues, all right, the wonders, the mystery, all that type of stuff, bro, the codes, It's in the Bible, bro. It's here. And this is my Bible, King James Version. Doesn't matter if man wrote it. Who wrote the other ones? Man. Who started writing the Bible? Man. But through God, Moses wrote everything that's in the Bible right now. And everything that we're reading is of God. The King James is just in the language that we learned over here in America. And they put words in there that's similar to the words that come out of the potent ones, like which comes from Africa and everything, but in languages we can understand. Because a tree could be something different in other parts. And all this other stuff. You dig? But I mean, when Jesus descended and when Jesus went up into the cloud after he rose from the dead, he told everybody, I will come back. And guess what? After he went into the clouds, he did come back. And he told Thomas, hey bro, touch my side. See that it's me. You know, you see my hands? This ain't body piercing. This is, see these holes in me? Jesus did come back. The Holy Spirit is next to come. The one that's been given to us through Jesus to know our hearts about God, to know who's really his followers. And when it's time, the Holy Spirit will release all of us to Jesus, to where God will know who we are. And I'm gonna let y'all just sink on that if you dare, because not many people can digest the Bible. That's why they hate it so much. They despise it so much, because it's only telling you what's real. It's only telling you what's real, you know? And just, there's a lot of things that's about to happen. And it's through God's people. There's a lot of people who you think that are evil. They're really not. They just have to, you know, do evil to keep evil from doing evil to good. Can you dig it? I hope so. And we're going to just spin it off like that, man. All right? Take the scales out your eyes so you can see. And that's Guerrilla Gospel 1.